a few years ago, I was married to not only my husband, but my business partner, and we had a wonderful, successful business. But inside our home, there were some challenges. And as the years went on, those challenges became more severe. And the thought was there was a great deal of personal domination, anger, frustration, and it was just an extremely challenging time. And eventually, this all resulted in quite a challenging skin problem, to the point where I had to really wear long sleeves all the time to try to disguise the arms from clients. And I was very clear that skin challenges are often tied to things like impatience and eruption and anger and discontent and whatnot, and those were all qualities that were unfortunately going on in our home. So I, as a Christian Scientist, began to pray about those and to express more patience and more love and greater understanding and even forgiveness. And I prayed deeply about this challenge, but it just continued. And one day when it was particularly difficult, I really reached out and said, Father, what do you want me to know? Knowing that God, infinite mind, always tells us what we need to know. And this thought came that I had been manacled as if my wrists had steel manacles on them, like handcuffs, because the chafing and the irritation was all in that area. And I suddenly realized I had felt manacled to my husband in a very unhealthy way, personally dominated, etc. And I remembered this statement from Mary Baker Eddy's book, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. She says, with your own wrists manacled, it is hard to break another's chains. And I thought, with my own wrists manacled, what am I manacled to? And it became very clear, not to a person, but to thoughts that somebody could personally dominate me, or somebody could make me feel a certain way, angry, impatient, etc. And I began to realize the problem isn't over there. It never is over there. It was in my thought. How did I think about my fellow man, my spouse? Well, that was the beginning of the shift, and in a very short time, the skin problem not only cleared up, but much more importantly, there was a lot more harmony in our home. And for this, I was so incredibly grateful. But also, I realized a grip had been broken. The notion that I could ever be dominated by another, that was the big breakthrough. And I will just say, for those who have been through difficult relationships, we didn't suddenly become dewy-eyed with one another and romantic like the end of a Hollywood film. And in fact, a few years went by, harmonious years, I'm grateful to say, but where my spouse asked if we could divorce. And that marriage did end, but it really ended on a harmonious note, and today we continue to be friends and even have business dealings with each other, and we're very respectful. But the main thing is to see that nobody can ever have domination over us, nor can we allow beliefs that are anything less than what we know God is to dominate our thinking. That's what really broke the grip. And I am so grateful for Christian Science.